Welcome back everyone to the next episode on SAP Analytics Cloud Training with me Anubhav. In our last session we talked about the concept of working with value driver tree and also working with data actions in SAP Analytics Cloud. In today's session we will continue and talk about the collaboration capability of SAP Analytics Cloud. Then we will discuss about the concept of working with Digital Boardroom. We will also discuss the topic of working with new model, how to work with new model and how the new model is different from the classic model. This is an interesting topic. Then we will see the how to work with basics of machine learning in SSE and also all the collaboration capabilities. So let's start first the concept of what is new model and how the new model is different from the classic model in SSE. So this is a very important question asked by many of you, Anubhav. We when we create a model in Analytics Cloud, we see this option called Classic Model and New Model. My manager is asking me to explore that option. Yes, and what is the difference, and can I create practically a new model or not? And if I create a new model, how would that model would look like? Is it also possible to convert a model automatically from classic model to new model? So let's go ahead and talk about that. So let me switch over to the slides first and explain you what is new model in general and what how exactly we can use the new model. So one second, I just log into the system also and let's talk about new model. So SAP introduced new model in December 2021 in Analytics Cloud. The purpose was to avoid confusion related to the account dimension. Yes. So you can see typically in our ERP system or our SAP ECC system or BW system, we have our database tables, and these database tables usually are foundation of your data. So any company you have worked with database table, at least you have seen database table, and these will work like a foundation. Now take an example of typical database table: sales order ID, then we have gross amount, we have tax amount, and we have customer. Yes, so these are the fields. Now if you see this data set, we have basically these two column work as a measure. Yes, these are the measure. Now this is our structure, and now if you compare with this with the model in Analytics Cloud, what happens in when you create model? When you create model, you have SOID in the model, yes, for sure, and then you will have customer. But actually all the measures which you see, gross and tax, they are combined under the account dimension. So they are come under the account dimension, gross and tax. So you see what you see here is four columns, but here when you see Analytics Cloud model, you see three columns. This is causing confusion for customers, those who are not aware of Analytics Cloud, those who are new to Analytics Cloud. They will get confused. They say, why is that a simple data structure cannot be kept as a as simple as it is in the source system as it is? So this confusion came from many customers, and SAP really started thinking and working towards it. So they said, okay, now we want to introduce a new type of model which avoids this confusion. Yes, so this is where SAP come up with new model concept in 2022, where in the new model what you can do is we can define and keep measures separately. The advantage is that for each measure we can now provide unit of measure also. Yes, so earlier you see everything is combined. It is hard to work with measure and it's hard to provide unit also for each measure. But by keeping the measure separately, you can provide the unit like kilometer, meter, liter, barrel, gram, kilogram, yes, millions, billions, including scaling property. There is also a enhanced formula builder to put calculated measures. Yes. So now we not combine measures to account dimension. Yes. It is possible to keep measures as open as possible. There is no need to basically go ahead and put account dimension to combine these measures. It's not required anymore. Yes. However, it is also possible to keep the account dimension from old world. Yes. In total, you can also use the option of building model without account dimension or with account dimension also in the new model. When we define an account dimension and measure in new model, we have to tell system that which of the measure take higher priority. This is called structured priority concept. Okay, structured priority concept. So which of the measure is taking higher priority is what we have to specify. Yeah, that is the concept. Now, when we build a story, we will also be able to see all our measures directly. This avoids confusion for customer. So when we compare database table or view from source system to our model, they look alike. How do Anubhav learn the new features and the new concepts coming in Analytics Cloud? Today we are in 2022. In coming months, we will arrive to 2023, 2024, 2025, and so on. So as a developer, as a consultant, it's also interesting to stay up to date. Yes, right? So how do you learn these new features? There is a new thing coming, there is a new concept coming. You are engineers. Yes, you are not school students. So as an engineer, you should have a approach to learn and get yourself up to date with new things coming in SSC. If Anubhav can learn it, you can also learn it. Nobody can stop you. So how I learn is I go to SSC, and when I go to Analytics Cloud, here we have this option to go for help, and I say help. Yes. And in this now I can search the concept which I want. Let's say new model, and we get the documentation for creating new model type, getting started with new model type. You can see here the documentation. I can pop out to read more. So you see that system is showing you here an example, classic account model versus new model. So in a classic account model, you see account dimension have value for all the measures. So you see the measures is discount, sales, quantity, average price. These are all the measures which are under the account dimension column. Yes, and the values are kept for each measure as a row cell. Yes, but when it comes to the new model, each account dimension will become a new column now. So how many account dimensions you have in total? How many measures you have? Four. So there will eventually be four columns, you see. One column, two column, three column, and four column. So you will eventually get all the values as direct columns in the data set. This is how the main difference, the major difference between classic versus new model is with example. Yes. So you can then see here the values. User can enter, user can change. You can have a advanced new improved calculation builder, formula builder I was telling you, where you can write calculations around your datas. Yes. Enhance currency feature. We can also put here currencies, so you can see while doing the planning, you can specify which of your measures are subjected to currency conversion, and then you can put in the value. So you can see example. We can also choose model configuration, that let's say if you have a model where you want to give, where you also have a count and you have other measures also, which one to give more priority, that you can also specify over here in this model. And then you have also some example of this model. You can see some example where you have a account dimension 1 2 3 4, and you can also have the values over here. In addition, you can give units, and then there are restrictions with new model. This is an interview question. What are all the things which will currently not work when it comes to new model? So following things are not supported right now with the new model. Yes, so you can just go through these restrictions and this stuff like that when it comes to model. Yeah, so this is the basic concept of a new model. And now in the system I'm going to show you creating new model. What I like about the new model is it also have a guided flow for data import, and it helps consultants to identify the error easily. Okay, so we can go ahead and identify the errors so easily, guys. When it comes to new model, when you import the data, the you can identify the errors very easily also. That is the concept of new model. So now I'm just going to go back and show you how can we create a new model. It is also possible to convert from classic model to new model automatically. There is a button SAP provide, so every classic model can be converted to new model with just a button click. But guys, one funny thing I'll tell you about SAP. SAP say something, but they do something else. Yes, that's a reality. I don't know how many you believe that or not. SAP tell you something, but they do something opposite. I'll tell you one example. When you create a model in SAP Analytics Cloud, they say that the recommended model is new model. So if you go to modeler and if you click the create button, this model create button, they say new model is recommended. You see, recommended. But when you use this option to upload the Excel file, yes, or these data source, yes, any one of this, which type of model do they create themselves? Any guesses? Which type of model do they create themselves? Do they create themselves? Yes, they create classic model. So on one side they are telling you create new model, but the moment you use their options, this option for Excel file, they end up creating classic model. Yes, they end up creating classic model. So that's a bad thing, which I personally feel is not good. On one side you are recommending customers to create new model, but when we choose Excel option, you are automatically combining everything and creating account dimension and putting all my measures. You saw that in the past classes when we created models. Every model which we created using Excel file was eventually having a account dimension. So that's not good. That's not healthy. Yes. Anyway, uh, our goal is today to just learn new model. So now I'm going to repeat the last class model with a new model concept and I'll show you the process, and you will understand also how different it is. It look like. So click on model, new model, select, and once again we will create all the columns as per the last class. So I'll go back to our study material for analytics cloud batch, and we go to session number 9. where we had the sales data CEP. So we will now define our model with a new model approach. Come down. These were the columns. Yes. So let's go back. And now you see this is how the model look like. You can define measures separately, dimensions separately, and you can add dimensions and measures here. You also have an enhanced calculation builder where you can put calculated measures. Yes, I will show you an example also. So let's start. So first I will add a measure. Let's call it as measure only. So for each measure you can give a data type directly. This is something which you can give. You can define aggregation types, units and currencies, formatting, everything you can specify separately for each measure. Yes. Now next I will add here one by one our dimensions. So let's add dimensions. Let's first add SAP CEP customer. Click on add. SAP CEP product. Planning level. Entity. I will add sales org as a org dimension. And now I will also add account dimension in new model. Fantastic. So you see this is a combination of my account dimension and a measure. Now since you give this, it is important to specify what takes higher priority. Account take higher priority or measure take higher priority. So that you can go to preference, and in the preference you see the structure priority setting where you can specify what should take higher priority when it comes to your data. Which measure shall I keep it as higher priority? So in this case I say please take higher priority for account dimension. Yes, account dimension. So that is what we can specify. In a new model we can choose which one take priority. So I choose account dimension take more priority. Yes. And now let's define the hierarchy and the data. So we come back for customer. So we have the test data now. Let me open guys the data set. So I will just go back to open our data set from where we will copy dimension values like we did in the last episodes many times. I'm just going to go inside and let's please first put a product with a hierarchy, parent child hierarchy. So I just come back and put product value, create a parent child hierarchy, go inside product, paste values, come back, customer, copy. We will put level based hierarchy for customer. So we add three properties, level 1, level 2. So everything is same except just the measures. And let's create level based hierarchy. We'll add level 1, 2, 3, and let's go to customer, maintain the value. And now next is sales organization. In the sales organization we will mention another property called entity and also parent child hierarchy. Let's maintain the values, go back. Next comes is entity itself where we have country, property and hierarchy, which is a parent child hierarchy. and we have enable currency, and we also put a property country. We go inside entity and we paste the value. So you can see matching properly, everything good. Then we go to the next and we maintain planning level. Doesn't have a hierarchy, just the values. Then we go to, yeah, currency is okay. We go to the measure and we maintain account dimension. So you can see account dimension. I can go and maintain all my measures once again here. And we can specify all the other properties like scale, unit and decimal places. Yes, perfect. So that's my account dimension. So still in the new model, I have combined, I am able to adapt, and I'm able to put the structure the way it was before. Okay. The way it was before, I am able to adapt. In spite I'm creating new model, I am adapt the old structure, because I know our data is like this. You remember the data sample? All the measures are like this. So they are the rows. They are the rows. If my data set would have been like this, I would have had a gross sales column. Yes, I would have had a price column. I would have had a quantity column. Everything was column in my data set. Then I would have created these three properties over here instead of one measure. But since our data set is in a row structure for measures, you see, each measure comes as a row. That is why we still have to create a count dimension. Yes, but in spite of creating new model, can we create a copy of classic model and change it to new model? Is it possible while copy also? Yes, it's possible. So one good idea, Sandeep, you have a good idea that you don't want to take a chance and disrupt any of your existing story. So you will first copy classic model and then convert it to new model, and then check just by d-link from old story to new model. Yes, and then see if that works. If that formula works, then later on you can delete the old model. That's a good idea for safeguarding your investment, because let's say if you did conversion, there is no rollback. There is no rollback. Once you do convert a model to new model, SAP will not allow you to roll back. So that's a good thought you have, Sandeep. You can try that. Okay, this is our model now, and I will save. Let's call it as new model concept. I go back to our model folder for planning. So concept of new model. So we just saw how to create a new model. In addition, you can specify calculated measures, which are basically, you can add additional calculations. So first thing which we saw different was the layout is different for defining measures and dimensions separately. Second is we have structured priority setting. Third, we have this calculation section. So these are the three changes by far you observed. You can put now here calculated measures. So I can add a measure, just a formula, and I can say gross amount. So you can see here we have multiple dimensions. Yes. So we can put here measure. Yes, you can see gross control space, and you can see all the values, all the fields. Yes. So you can say account dot, you can just say measure our value multiplied by 0.01. It's a calculated measure. This is how we can add calculation. Make sense? Now we can just go back and first save this. And the next step is data import. So I told you that for data import, now we have a new tool, new improved experience tool. So let me first import all the data from my Excel. I will just choose the file, sales data, click on next, and you will see that it will get imported. First it let it import, and now you see we get this option called setup import. So unlike earlier, when you click, it will open a mapping tool, just as one screen tool it was earlier, but now they have a wizard based tool. So if I open this import, it will show you a wizard, complete wizard. So I click, and you see it will open a big wizard where we can do the mapping. So basically improved experience, a guided flow is provided by SAP. So first it shows you the data preview, what your data is. You can see this is a wizard, multiple steps. Then you can click next. Now you see it has mapped most of the things automatically: version, date, customer, product, planning level, and sales org. It is asking what's your account dimension and what's your measure. So if you want to discontinue some of the mapping which it has automatically done, you can discontinue like this. And now what I do is I will map my measure with account dimension. I will map value with the measure, and I will map entity with entity. And you see all the mappings are done now. So this is how you can do the mapping. You see it's a completely different experience for consultants to do the mapping. Unlike last time where we had a single step process for mapping in classic model, in the new model we have a more enhanced experience for mapping. I now click on the next button. You can see it further shows you the individual columns. Like if you for account dimension you want to add additional description, you can do mapping as well for this, those things. Yes. So I click on next, and now here it will tell you any data quality issues are there during mapping. It will tell you everything over here. So you can leave this wizard in the middle by saving your settings, whatever you did till today. Now you see it has got a problem that the date has some additional values, 11 extra values are there for 2020, which cannot be imported. Yes. So system is telling this error. Okay, then I say save and exit. So you can save till here whatever you did, all your work, and later on fix the issue and come back again. That's the beauty of this mapping tool. In the classic mapping tool, we don't have that feature. You cannot save. So I just save the mapping setting, yes, and I come out, and I will just go back to model structure. Since we have data for 2020, we have to change our date range, and you see date range is 2022. So we need to reduce it to 2020 because we want to plan for 2020 as well, and I save. And I switch over back to data management. So whatever settings which I did last time, they will retain. It will not go away. So I go inside setup import. It will open the wizard one more time. You can see wizard has opened. I can directly go to the last step, review import. Yes, because rest all the things I've already done last time when I came here. And now I will just go ahead and check again if there are any restrictions or data quality issues. We can resolve them. So you see no issues. Can say run import. I say finish, and you can see it's processing. It's running, you can see, just processing. Just processing, you can see. Done. So now you can see the wizard shows you that all the steps: gather data, prepare data, map to model, review import, run import. All the steps were successfully carried out. So this is a completely improved experience which SAP provide for data management in the new model. Okay, so our new model is ready now. Now, if I just also quickly show you the concept of migration from old model to new model, let me show you quickly. So if you open any old model like a BI model or old planning model, let me open any model. There is this button you see called migrate to new model type. That's it. You click and you can say, okay, since the model is used in story, you cannot migrate. Okay, so the only option, as Sandeep mentioned, you have to copy first and then you have to migrate because this model is already used and coupled with the stories. So it is a disruptive change for your stories. So you have to copy and migrate. So let's copy and migrate. So I can copy my sales data model, copy button, and I copy underscore copy. I can go inside copy and then I will just say migrate. Yes, you see now migrate button. I can say migrate and you can see it has created a similar structure. It has created account dimension and it has got signed data. And if you go to structured priority, it has kept account as a higher priority. Yes. Wow. Cool now. So this is how exactly we can have a new model created. So not very completely different radical change, but it's just the way we organize our data. So now I go and create a story with our recently created new model to see if there is any change in the way we build a story with new model. So I will create a chart and I will use the new model which I created few minutes ago. So I go to the models, planning model, and you see we created today a new model, concept of new model. This is the one. I come here. So what you see in the story is you got an additional section called measure. Before it was not there. Yes, this you have got. So let's quickly create a report. So I will add gross sales and I will choose the measure as the only measure called measure. And you see we've got our calculated measure also. So I put measure and I put also the calculated measure, both the things. Yes, so you cannot choose both the measures together. Yes, only one measure at a time you can choose. And then we can maybe add our dimension. I wanted to see it per entity with a hierarchy. So you get a hierarchy for entity and go to level 3. So this is our total sales per per entity, total gross sales per entity. So the only difference you see in story is you get an additional section called measure where you have to choose your measure. Yeah. So that is how exactly we can build and develop our application in the system. Make sense, everyone? Yes. This is how exactly we can do use the new model. There is no major change, but yes, it's just the way we work with ERP data, BW data. We can work with this model concept. However, SAP say something and do something. When you use Excel files and things like that, they will end up eventually creating a classic model only. So as of now, I see 90% projects are still on classic model. Very few projects are using new model, but yeah, slowly as you now know the concept, you can also start using the new model if you want to. I personally use still classic model. I'm more comfortable with classic model. I don't have a confusion with account dimension. Yes. Okay. So moving on to the next concept, collaboration capability. So analytics cloud, as I told you, it's a collaborative planning, used for collaborative planning. So one person who is a planner do the planning, and then another person who is basically the approver should approve. So a planner will do the plan, and an approver will reviewer or approver will review the plan. Yes. So they will review the planning changes. So in currently in the trial account, I don't have multiple users, I cannot demo this to you, but at least you can see this is the flow of typical work of planning. So in this case, there is a lot of back and forth collaboration which is required, because planner has to plan, let's say HR has to plan for head counts, and HRBP or HR head has to approve that plan to hire new people in the company. Correct. So there's a lot of back and forth processing which happens. So how can we use effective collaboration? Also, if you remember the very first day when I started the concept of planning, I told that what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and who's going to do that. Everything over here will be planned properly, will be thought of properly. So we have the concept of first concept of called planning calendar. So planning calendar is a great feature in analytics cloud which allows planners and reviewers and also the entire project to be planned properly. So when you are doing, let's say, financial planning at the end of quarter, or you're doing HR planning at the end of half yearly, then the planning calendar is such a great feature to put all the tasks together, where you can mention what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and who is going to do that. So suppose I want HR to create a model tomorrow morning when the work start. 10 o'clock in HR has to come and she has to create a planning model. So I click on plus button and I can create different types of tasks like general task, review task, composite task, which is a combination, and process task. In addition, we can have some automated task. Let's say I have a general task. First, I create a general task. Create a HR data model, please. Yes. This needs to be done by when, and does it depend on someone else? Is it a recurring task? Just like you schedule an Outlook invite, this is just the same thing. You can click on create, and then this task will have a assignee. So you will assign it to the HR or someone working in your company as a planner. So you have this task, you click, and now you can add more information. I have sent you email, please create HR planning model. Yes. You can assign the task right away to developers. Yes. Or you can assign it to yourself also. So you see the date time, you can change again. Context, in what context, is there any data model, is there any data set which you want to see? So I will say maybe please create or check the sample model which I created earlier. So like this you should create. So I just can give a context. Yes, we can say who is going to perform, who is the assignee. So I will say assignee to myself. So right now I don't have a productive account. If I have a productive account, then I can choose here all the team members. I can see, I can select my team members, and I can say okay. So this way there will be a assignee for each task, which is a manual task, and I will click on update. So you have now a task, yes, and a reminder will be sent to the team. Once the task is created, you must have to activate that. So activate deactivate feature is very powerful to specify when the task is relevant or not relevant. Sometime you just create a task, but you would want to wait for the right time to activate so others can see them. So activate, and now I can activate. Once I activate, everyone in my system can see this task, because this task is actually a public task. Now it's activated. So this is how the task can be created. Yes, we can set everything. You can see here dependency process. No, time zone, I think it's a system time zone. Every SAP system have the same behavior. It is a system time zone. You can send a immediate reminder also to the team member. Yes. So this is how a reminder can be sent. Okay. So now we can create a automated task. Suppose I want, after she creates a data model, I want somebody else to come and review the data model. So we can create another task. We can come here, click review task, and then say review HR data model. It has a dependency on another task. What is the dependency? It depends on a event create HR data model. If she has not completed this work, of course you cannot review. So we can put dependency on. So once the HR completes and mark this task value done, only then our next task will become active. Yes. So now you say fail this task if the previous task is not done. Yes. So statuses, which what statuses are allowed for this task. Yes, because it's depending on another task. I click create. So this is another task where the reviewer should review the HR model. So now I will assign this also to another developer. So in this case, system doesn't have multiple developers. So I'll assign it to myself only. Yes. I click on update and activate. So once they review, they can approve and reject. You can see right now the previous task is not complete. So until it is not complete, you know, until it's not complete, the next task doesn't have the approve reject option. So this is a reviewer task. So it's approve and reject. So once my HR start this task and she completes creation of the model, she will eventually put a memo, provide the details, provide everything. Yes. And then she has to create and attach the model. So she can attach also the model here. You can see she can add filter, she can add model. So many things she can do. So she can open the task. So since this task is assigned to me, I can open and I can then mark it complete. So I have finished model and I say update. Yes. So this way, every developer, every team member in the company, every planner in the company have to create, manage tasks and work in a sequential flow to have a successful project completion in a flow. Yes. This is how exactly things are being carried out. And once the previous task is done, the approve reject button will become enabled and the reviewer can approve or reject. Then we can have automated task also. Suppose I want to run a data action. Data action in the last class I taught you. So you can run a data action on a model. So trigger head count calculation. So I can now choose here. Let's say I want to trigger daily till end of this month. So this is a recurring task. Every day it has to recur again and again. And this is a data action task. I click on create. So you will now see a recurring appointment will be created. You see for every day, you see. Yes. So every day this task will run. So which data action I want to trigger? Copy HR FTE data action. I want to copy data to and I can pass the parameters. So every day it has to copy, or maybe I say scripted data action for the actual version. It should trigger every day. Yes, and publish the version automatically. So now I can update. So this task will doesn't require any human intervention. Every day Analytics Cloud will, when the time comes, it will schedule a job, and this job will run, and this job will automatically do the head count calculation using scripted data action in the system. So that's the beauty of automated tasks you can create also in the system. Yes, at any given time. Now you can also go back and check the status of these tasks. Where? So you have to go to the connections and you see scheduled status. So if there is a you see there was earlier we did a schedule of auto import data from Google Drive. So this was a job. So all the job statuses can be see here in this section. So if you have a automated task, you can also come back and check here the status of that task, whether it was performed or not. So this is the first feature called planning calendar, which helps you to collaborate between the team members, planners, reviewers, and approvers to basically run your entire project with planning. The second feature is this chat window. You see collaboration feature, where you can create a chat, new discussion you can start. So let's say last week you had a meeting in your company and you guys have discussed certain points. So you can start a new discussion, invite participants over here. So currently you see I don't have any participants because it's not a multi-user system. It's a single user trial system. But if you are using productive account, then you will have a choice to select multiple people and you can start a discussion. Yes. And then you can start sending messages. Hello all. Just like a WhatsApp group, your personalized WhatsApp group, you can create and you can start chatting. So right now I don't have permission because there are not multiple people in this. Let me see if I can add myself. No, I cannot. I cannot, guys. So, but it's just basically a collaboration space where people can come and chat and start discussing, and they can attach files, they can send model references, story references, and we can have a complete WhatsApp group kind of discussion board which we can have. So you can also attach a task here. Hey, Bruno. Yes, you can just send messages to the team members. So that is what exactly we have a discussion panel on the top right corner. The third feature which we have is we can go to our stories where we have done something. So let me open the story, and let's say someone do some kind of planning. So they did some planning, they did some what if analysis, and I would like to give a comment. So I say this value for EMEA is too much for my company. So I can right click and then I can just add a comment. So you see add a data point comment. This is another collaboration capability. So I say I think this is too much for EMEA considering we are only dealing in the apparel segment. So something like this I can comment. You can see, so there is a developer name, so I'm using my colleague's ID, so it's using that, and then you can see the comment has come. So people can come and collaborate, they can give a like. Yes, they cannot delete my comment only I can delete and edit, but they can just like and see my comments. So when you go back to SSE, you can see this small bubble coming here which indicates there is a comment. You can hide all the comments by clicking that button on the top, and you can show all the comments which are maintained by other people on your planning story. So this is another way of collaboration where multiple people can come and comment right away on their stories. Yes, this is a great feature provided by Analytics Cloud for collaborative planning. So it's all about collaboration. Planning requires lot of collaboration between multiple team members and departments. So this is where we have the concept of the third feature called collaboration. So one was adding the chat, then was planning calendar, which is very important, and then third one is data comment. You can also set permissions for data comment, that who can view, edit, and see your comments. So that is something in the security we can go and do it. You see right now it's a trial account, so none of the security options are allowed for me. But if this would have been allowed, then I would show you that I can go in and mark who can view and edit and change comments. So all these things we can also secure when it comes to security of the comment. So that's something which we can do for our story. So in addition, you can go here on the designer, you can come down, and you can also, yeah, I think that's it. We cannot control permissions here. We need to have a productive account to control the permissions for the user, that who can edit, delete comments. Now there's a question called the all the comments stored in the back into the model and we can create a copy. No, comments are never stored in the model. Comments are stored at a story level. So if you copy model, the comments will not get copied. They are not model level comments. They're story level comments. So only this page can see these comments when somebody come to this page. Okay. Yes. All right. So now
Anubhav, how to learn the security part since it is not available?
so point one, this is not our job as a consultant. This will be done by Analytics Cloud Administrator. It's a completely different profile. Yes, it's a completely
Oh,
different
okay.
profile.
Okay.
But if you want to learn, yes, as I taught you today only, you can go to help, and search for administration.
Okay. Okay.
And then you can find here administration for Analytics Cloud, content administration, system administration. So from here you see everything. Yes. So content administration, system administration. So you can see here almost everything. In addition, if you remember our earlier days when we started this training, I showed you the help documentation slash SAP Analytics Cloud. I think we can put SAC. Okay, it's not showing. We can go to the product page of Analytics Cloud, and this is our Analytics Cloud product page. If you come down, you see we have everything here. Everything. If you come down to administration, you see system administration, system security, content administration. You go to system administration and you see here every single minute detail. Getting started, configuring your fresh system, how to configure new system, how to monitor system uses. Then comes security, managing user, create user, modify user, create team. So team is nothing but group of users to grant permissions in masses to multiple users. Creating roles. Yes, you see every single detail is given here, every minute detail. So if somebody is interested, they can go and read about these things. So this is how you can learn about system administration. By the way, it's a different profile altogether. Yes, different profile altogether. So you can see sharing settings,
Okay. Thank you.
translation, how to translate our content. So lot of different things are there which we can go and learn about directly on the help documentation page. Complete guides are provided and they're all free. You can download a PDF also from these guides. Okay, so now we come back. So these are the collaboration features which we have in SAP Analytics Cloud when it comes to collaborative planning. So this comes to the end of our planning unit. In the next section, we will start with the concept of digital boardroom, and I will also show you the basics of machine learning in the next section. So let's take a break for 5 minutes and we will rejoin after a 5-minute break. Okay, welcome back after the break, everyone. So in the last section, we saw how do we achieve the collaboration feature with Analytics Cloud planning with planning calendar, comment section, and collaboration space. Now, in the next section, we will talk about digital boardroom. So, guys, let's talk about the most important challenge today for any company. What is the most critical challenge today for any company, for any business leader? The most critical challenge for any business leader today is basically the transparency. They would want to see transparency in the business. They would want to see the transparency across their departments. So that's the most common challenge which you talk about today in the digital world with any leader, they will say to you. So that why we have this new feature called digital boardroom in SSC. And what is digital boardroom and why we need it? So why digital boardroom? So since the company have many applications and solutions, so let's think about a big company which has different departments like finance, HR, marketing. So you have finance, travel, HR, marketing, sales, supplier relation. Yes, different departments in a big company. And what companies have done over a period of time, they have actually used these different departments and different services from each department. Different solutions and softwares are being used. So when we use these softwares, different softwares, the data is spread across multiple solutions. And the biggest challenge today is to bring this data at one single common place with the help of integrations and display a holistic view for the company to bring transparency. Yes. So this is the main challenge which we have today in our company, and we want to solve it. And that's where the digital boardroom comes into picture. So since our company is using so many different solutions, SAP and non-SAP solutions with heterogeneous technologies. As a board member, my challenge is transparency and presentation of this data is spread across multiple teams and departments to one common place. We want a holistic view at company level, which will align coordination of all the departments. That is what we want to achieve. This is where we have concept of digital boardroom. So digital boardroom aims to bring data analytics and data together on a single boardroom experience. Yes, single boardroom experience. So how many types of digital boardrooms we can create in SAP Analytics Cloud? So what types of boardroom presentation we can create? So we can create two types of boardroom presentation in SAC. One is called agenda. So first of all, what is boardroom allows? The main feature of digital boardroom is to bring different stories pointing to different models and different systems on a single large screen device, which could be projector or multiple screens connected together. This helps the board members to take informed decisions and hence have a single source of truth across all departments. Yes, there are two types of presentations we can create: agenda presentation and dashboard presentation. These are the two types of presentations we can create when it comes to digital boardroom. Agenda presentation will use to create a data in flow. So you have a predefined agenda, predefined flow. When you want to have a presentation in a flow, then you use agenda presentation. But dashboard is used to use for free flow analytics. Now, one important point, the digital boardroom is only available for productive accounts. In the trial account, we don't have. So don't worry, Anubhav Trainings brings you the best in class learning experience. We have arranged a system, productive system today for you to demonstrate you the features of digital boardroom. So at least you know how exactly it works. Yeah. So now let me first explain you the other benefits of digital boardroom. So you can see this is how typically a boardroom would look like in your company. So first of all, the boardroom allows you to get a complete picture of company situation in real time. It brings the transparency. Yes, that is the major disadvantage today in companies. Leaders are looking for transparency. Yes, that is what leaders are looking at. So digital boardroom eventually brings transparency. It visualize, it'll help you to visualize in context insight to maximize the impact on the audience. It align executive decisions on one source of truth across business areas. So when all the leaders of the different departments sit together, the analytics cloud helps them to understand the coordination, how good it is, and it fosters the trust amongst the leaders of the company. It also gives instant data driven insights, answer ad hoc questions on the fly questions to better understand the business performance, analyze the root cause to identify the risks and opportunities in the real time business, and also the simulate impact of potential decisions on the financials of the company. It is a simplified boardroom experience process. Rather than going with the traditional slides, you are going a better experience, better presentation, which will increase the readability of the data for the business. So it transforms the boardroom experience to better outcomes, reduce the boardroom meeting preparation time and effort, and leverage the predefined best practices to accelerate the time to value. So these are some of the key advantages and goals which helps with digital boardroom in SAP Analytics Cloud. What are the benefits? It is a contextual user experience. You can look at this picture of typical SAP digital boardroom where all the leaders are going to sit in a large meeting room with a large screen, and they can see all the data at company level, at the top management level. Everything is projected together. Yes, both customer insight, sales and marketing, and everything is at one single place, including features for filtering, slicing, and dicing on the data. So it provides a contextual experience, give executive a complete real-time view of company situations and KPIs. KPIs at each department level to also foster the trust amongst the leader. It aligns executive decision to one source of truth across all business areas. It also provides you embedded and personalized experience for each individual. So you see each individual have a tablet, and on that they can also slice and dice and see the personalized experience for the same digital boardroom. Then we have also both guided and free structure. So as I showed you, we can create agenda or we can create also a dashboard, which is a free flow presentation. So it follows the traditional structure and ability to break off, skip and go back. It also allows free flow presentation in an exploratory style to meet your organization structure. It provides data driven insights to explore and combine the KPIs and use of filters to compare trend and spot the correlations. It simulates the impact of potential decision to the financials and operations. It also helps you to get 360-degree view and visualize insight in context across multiple touch screens. So these are some of the benefits of digital boardroom. So you can see the use case here. We have got the analytics cloud core function. On top, we have got the three verticals: BI, planning, and predict. Now imagine in your company you have 8 different departments and they're all using analytics cloud. They all working on their small stories in their own world. But what about the leader of the company, the CEO, the CFO, the chief operating officer, yes, COO? What about them? So they want to get a holistic view at the company level. They are not interested only one department. So that's where you can combine the stories and pages of different department individual stories together in one single coherent experience, which is called digital boardroom. It brings transparency, it brings data driven insights, and helps you to drive the boardroom meetings and reduce the time to prepare for boardroom meetings and something more productive outcome. So the data comes from SAP solutions like S4 HANA, BW for HANA, or SAP BobJ, or we have SuccessFactor, Ariba, Concur, Hybris, Fieldglass, flat files, or any other data source. Eventually all boils down to SSE, and from SSE you can boil down that to the digital boardroom. So let's take our use case, what we plan to build today. So what is our use case? What we want to see? So first I wanted to show you create agenda presentation using Digital Boardroom. So before I'll show my system. So in my system, I have already created stories for different departments for the data coming from different places. So you can see here, I have already created story here. So what I did is I have data set for different departments, including sales, purchasing, marketing, multiple departments I have got data from. And all this data I have combined together in a multi-cloud story. Let me just open that. Multi-cloud. Yes. And you see in the multi-cloud, I have a multi-cloud story created. So this is all I have built myself in our system. So you can see we have a first dashboard which shows data for all the departments. So you can see this data of finance coming from finance team. Then you have the travel data in the map coming from Concur, SAP Concur. Then we have contractor information coming from Fieldglass, SAP Fieldglass and Ariba. And then we have employees coming from Employee Central from SuccessFactor. Then we have also the finance data. And then we have the data for profit per region coming from e-commerce Hybris Cloud. So from multiple systems, I'm getting the data together in one single dashboard. So this is one of the page. Then we have for individual solutions dashboard built by individual team members. So we have data from success factor coming, pure HR data, average age of employees, in what is the change in average age each year, how many what is the diversity ratio in my company, yes, in which department how many employees are employed right now, yes, what is the cost structure, what are the contractors and their supervisors, and also you see termination. So I see that I have this year 25% people leaving company, iteration rate. What's the impact of that on my profit? So you can see a KPI which change in HR department have an impact on the finance department, you see. Yes. So if I do change KPI in HR, it has impact on finance. So this is something which you can do by combining your stories together. So all this data set I will provide to you. It's there in my training material. So you see here we will provide you this entire data set. Yes, let me just go and show you premium content data set. So you, of course, no one of you can have all the systems for your company, right? You may not have access. So I've downloaded here the data set for you guys from different solution like SAP Hybris C4C, SAP Concur, Fieldglass, S4 HANA Finance, and SuccessFactor. So this is all the flat data files I will provide to you in our training material. So you can also build this kind of a dashboard yourself by looking at my dashboard. If you think that you cannot build these kind of dashboards, you can subscribe my next training, which is called SAC Premium POC training, where I showed building each of these dashboards to you in that another training. Of course, you should be able to build it based on the knowledge you've gained today. Still, somebody wants to go one extra mile, you can go to anubhavtrainings.com and you can subscribe our SAC Premium POC training. So those who have taken the SSC main training, they will get an extra discount. Okay, on the when you buy the premium POC training. So there's another training called SSC Premium POC training. This is the one you see. It's a 10-hour training where we have not covered any theory. Yeah, we just covered how to use the data set which I'm giving to you and build these dashboards which I built here. Yeah, all this dashboard. How did I build this dashboard? So I've split it in a separate course altogether. So that's something you can purchase from Anubhav training to learn how did I build these dashboards. Every single minute thing I've explained in that. It's a pure practical training where there is no theory covered. Yes. So it is I think it is 150 USD. But if you take this course along with the main course, means if you've taken main course, then you get $50 discount. So it's 100 USD. That's the cost of the premium POC training. So where I've showed you building this or from all the demo data which I'm providing to you. Of course, you can just build yourself. I will share the screenshots of my report dashboard which I built. Yes, I will share the screenshots. You can just look at the screenshots and try to build yourself. Still, if you want to build through, if you want training on that, you can take that extra course, extra mile. Okay, it's just the BI and planning features which we learned till today. So then we have hybrid story for e-commerce cloud with e-commerce data. Yes. How is my revenue split across Fortune companies? Then we have the group category. Then we have weighted revenue versus average revenue comparison. You have filters, multiple filters based on deal size. Yes. Employee rating, expected revenue, different regions. Yes. Then we have the next story come from finance department with a value driver tree and also the financial planning and also a variance chart comparing the finances of the company across all the different regions. Then we have planning profits. There is a planning report which checks about the profit pattern in the company, how the profit across different regions and departments is doing in the company. And finally, we have Conquer data used to build this travel dashboard. What is the total carbon footprint on the world where all we have the different departments and the different department, what is the nearest airport near the department. And one nice feature which we have here is I have a department in San Francisco, and near to San Francisco these many airports are there. If my employee travel 150 kilometer, within 150 kilometer these many airports he can cover. But if employee is willing to travel, let's say more kilometers, let's say uh, 300 kilometers, then employee can cover more airports actually. So you can see if employee travel 2000 kilometer from their car, then they can cover more airports near the office location. So this is a geographical filter which we have added. Yes. And then we have carbon footprint on the travel by each employee. And then we also have the details about when the people travel the most. Yes, all this information is projected from the travel department, and you see overall carbon footprint, miles traveled in the company, in the cost on travel. This is prepared by travel department. So all these are the different dashboards prepared by different department based on different systems and solutions together in a one single dashboard. But now I want to combine it to a boardroom experience where there is a boardroom meeting planned for the company, and each of the department head now have to go and present this plan to the CEO of the company. Yes. So that's our use case. Let's go and write about use case. We need to create agenda presentation. So we have,
It's too late for the breakfast. Kidding.
Yeah, maybe they should have it at home if it's too late. So if you attended TACAD usually start 8 a.m., 7:30 a.m., and they have breakfast till 9 o'clock. Okay, so then 10:30 is the Celine. He is the head of HR, has to present HR data from success factor and travel data from Concur. 11 o'clock. So this is the predefined agenda which has come up for the Vancouver meeting next month. Now, if you can see here in this, there is a predefined agenda and there are presenters already decided, and there is already some work which is being done individually by each of the presenter. So now we have been invited as a SSC consultant to combine this whole presentation into a single digital boardroom experience, so that when the presentation start, it has a predefined flow, and all these reports, dashboards, and stories can combine together in a one single experience called digital boardroom experience of type agenda. So let's go ahead and see this in action. How do we do this? So I go back to my productive account. So you know now the input data for digital boardroom. This is something prepared by individual departments. Yes. So we have prepared this already in productive system, and now I go to digital boardroom here. I open, I choose agenda presentation, and let's go to store it in a multi-cloud folder, and I will say August, or I say Vancouver meeting board members 17th. Click on OK, and you see it starts with the agenda presentation. So first the 10 o'clock Fred Smith CEO has to present. So let's upload photo for our CEO. So go to images, and this is Fred. Title is overview. Presenter is Fred Smith. Time is 10 a.m. I click on plus. I will now add the topics. So on the right side, you see library, and we now need to import the story from our dashboard. So we click on import, and we will show the folder where we have the story. So this is my story. I can add more stories. You can do more import. So randomly, I'll just pick up something more from the system. You see, I have Catherine created something she has created. I pick up, and now let's say we start with the first saving this. So you can drill down to the story, what is already created by somebody, by double clicking on it. And now we can just go ahead. Oops, it didn't save, guys. Something is wrong. There's a bug here as well. Okay. Anyway, let me import again. Import again. Okay. So I click on expand button, and I will just drag drop the main page. I click on expand button and drag drop the main page. So this is the overview by CEO. We can add more, and we can also go back, and let me add also planning and profit. Perfect. So this is what Fred will present at 10 o'clock. Then I will add a new agenda item. And the next will be by Celine, head of HR. She will present the travel, HR and travel. 10:30. Let's add photo for Celine. And there we go. And now I will add item. So we will add success factor data, add another item. We'll add the travel and expense data. So we say employee central. You can say Conquer. Okay. So let's add the third one, agenda item. And that's where we have Ryan at 11 o'clock going to present the KPIs for sales and marketing. And we add and we just bring the sales cloud and finance data. Okay, so this is how we can create a very simple digital boardroom experience by utilizing our existing stories. These can be multiple stories, multiple pages, which are coming from different departments, combining them together as an agenda presentation. Let's save this. And now we can start the presentation. So it's as easy as that. And we can just click on switch to presentation mode. So you can see we've got company overview, HR and travel, and KPI. So first at 10 o'clock, there will be opening remarks from the Fred. You go inside and shows the overview at the company level. Yes. And now we can just see this navigation panel. It's fully touch supported. It works on tablet, mobile, and touch screens. Large touch screens will be displayed and the data will be displayed in very high resolution. So you can just do a one touch to navigate between the data. You can see we had added two pages, so there's a navigation option where you can showcase all the data. There's also navigation panel on the left where you can drill down to both the stories. Now one interesting thing which I like about is when you right click you get this kind of a dialer. Wow, cool na. So that is something everybody will get when they touch for longer time on their tablets. And we can here switch to different things like searching, filtering, sorting, and you can customize that as well. So let me go out and customize the dialer. So I go back and I go to preferences, and you can see here how your digital boardroom is designed. Is your boardroom designed with large projector, or are there three back-to-back screens or two back-to-back screens? So this way you can configure the preview mode and layouts. Yes. Then we have display options like display the agenda font size large, medium. Yes. We want to show tab display or page header. We want to show a left and right. Where should the navigation bar should be positioned? So I say on the right side. Then we have context menu. This is our dialer. So I will remove one of the property and I will probably add one more property called meeting minutes. So now you will see when somebody open dialer, they will have a meeting minutes. We can have action bar. We can configure different actions, the buttons on the top, and also the date settings. We can click on apply, and now we can save. And let's back to presentation mode again. Okay, it's saving still. Yeah, it's saved now. And I go back. So this time, if you go back and you right click, you get a dialer with meeting minutes. So during the meeting, if one of the leader or shareholder have a question or a action item on you, you can make it note of it. So it opens the meeting minute. Click on plus button. So what was the topic regarding which this point have come? Yes, and what was the topic and whom you want this to be seen? So you can say, uh, yeah, Jack Dawson asked to review the finance profit for 2021-22 and bring or an email the same to him. Yes, something like this. You can add sections and then you can say done. You can publish the meeting minutes for everyone to see in the system. If you can just keep it private, you just say done, and the meeting minutes will get saved directly over here. You see, it's private. Log means it's a private one. Only you can see who have noted down. Others cannot see. If you publish, then everybody can see. Fantastic. So that's how we can take meeting minutes. Now, once Fred is done, we go out to the presentation and Celine will start then for HR, and you can see this is how the data for Employee Central will look like. She can go to travel planning and she can show the data for travel planning also. So basically they have to present their respective department data. Yes. So once she is done, she can close, go out, and then that's when we have finally the Ryan who will start. So I forgot to add Ryan's photo. Yes, now good. And then we can save and I just start presentation for Ryan. So Ryan will present then for the Sales Cloud KPIs. And you see now we have tab display on the top. So you can display now the finance and e-commerce Sales Cloud data. Fantastic. So that is how we can combine everything together to one single experience with a predefined agenda. But what if you have a sudden meeting planned for the board members? Like every week they have a meeting, every month they have a meeting, and this is a meeting which is more of a free flow, just a discussion, just an alignment between departments. You don't have a predefined agenda. So in that case, so when you go to shareholders, then you have to have agenda, guys. But when you are having internal meeting between board members, at that time you may not want to have some predefined agenda. Rather, it should be a free flow presentation. So that will be called a dashboard presentation with the digital boardroom. So let me just switch over back and create another one, digital boardroom. And this time I'll create a dashboard. So let's store it in this folder. Click OK. So now you don't have a predefined agenda or presenter. It's more of a drag drop. So you can simply bring the stories like this, and you can just put in the stories like this. Yes, done. I say topic 1, 10 minutes we will spend on this. Then we have topic 2, let's say HR, 15-minute discussion. And then finally we have travel. And then you have just created this, and you have additional tools for defining navigation between the stories. So you can click and you can add jump targets. So somebody can directly jump to travel from planning profit. So you can see you can jump to any topic and any page of your choice. So this is something which you can configure very easily. Yes. And now we can just go save it and start the presentation. So it's more of a free flow presentation. They can jump to any topic, any choice, anytime. So on the left side, you will see all the options which will be visible. You can see. So I can go to finance, planning profit. And now we've got this, and I can right click to dialer. And you see this jump to is now active. So you can click on jump to and you can jump to the travel. You see, jump to travel, and it directly jumps to the travel information. So these are the basic, very easy settings which you can make out and perform these settings directly on the system. So it combines basically your stories coming from different departments, different areas together at one single planning experience, one single experience for the boardroom presentation. And it really brings down the effort for preparing for it. And you can see all the data from different departments combined together at one single place in real time. In real time. Yes. So if you want to see how did I build them, yes, these stories, you can certainly subscribe our premium POC course. But in general, guys, what I will do is I will provide you this data set in our today's class material along with the screenshots. These screenshots I will provide you. So you can just refer the screenshots and create these stories. But yes, if you want me to show everything, you can just go ahead and take that additional offering called premium POC. How to combine multiple stories in one multi-story? We cannot do that, Ravi. So the only way to combine multiple stories in one place is just using the digital boardroom. Digital boardroom. That's the only way. Yes. How much is the digital boardroom is costly? So let me show you. I go to SAP store, digital boardroom, and you can go to SAP store to check the cost of digital boardroom. So it is 4,000 euros per month extra on top of SSC. Yes, that's a cost. Yes, you can buy for your company. Yes. All right. So I think we are not having much time. So I would want to end our session today here. And in the next episode, we'll start with our phase 3 of this training,
Hello,
which is called uh, machine learning and machine learning scenarios. Yes.
hello,
Yes. Go ahead
hello.
with your
Sir,
question.
along with SSC license, do we need to buy this digital boardroom separately?
Yes.
Okay, and yesterday I was talking about SAP planning professional license.
Mhm.
So ideally, how
Not.
much
It's not a
licenses
license. It's an
for?
additional add-on. It's an add-on.
Okay, digital boardroom is an add-on.
Yes, it's an add-on offering.
Okay, so when we purchase this SAP analytics cloud, means it's plain vanilla cloud, no planning, no digital boardroom, nothing in that.
You have BI, you have security, you have transport mechanism, you have connections, live and acquired data connections, you have content workspace, you have everything. Everything you have. 80% is there.
And also digital boardroom is given only in my account. There is it's not showing digital boardroom. So like we will have to spend those 4,000 rupees to get the digital boardroom,
Yes,
if I'm not wrong.
per year
And that too per month,
subscription cost.
per year.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And yesterday I sent that CDS mail, sir.
I will
I did
check
not
it
receive
today.
any
I,
reply.
I got busy yesterday. I'll check that today.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so before we also continue, everyone please go ahead and also go ahead today after the class when you're practicing. Install this Microsoft Office add-in, Analytics Cloud add-in to your Microsoft Office Excel. So how do you get it? Just go to your Excel file or open any Excel and just search here Microsoft add-in store, and you will go to Office add-in store and search here SAP Analytics Cloud. This is a plugin provided by SAP for SAP Analytics Cloud analysis directly into Microsoft Office. So you can click on add button, continue. And once you do add this, you can see it's added and now you see this tab called SAP Analytics Cloud tab. Wow. Then you click on sign in button, and then you provide your URL. So when you provide the URL, do not provide entire URL, provide only the URL up to this cloud.sap, up to this part. Okay, only this part you provide, copy that. Yes, once you copy that, paste that URL here. You see I pasted and click on go button. So now it will open the browser to log you in into the Microsoft and from the Microsoft Office plugin to Analytics Cloud. And once the login happen, then I will show you in the next class what are all the different things you can do here on this Microsoft Office add-in for Analytics Cloud. So it's just a plugin which is free provided by SAP to add it to your Excel, and some people are comfortable doing analysis in Excel. So we can do that directly using this add-in over here. Yes, this is an extra topic which typically we tend to skip, but now I will show you in the next class how to use this add-in. But just add the add-in today when you practice. Okay, cool. So that comes to the end of today's session and our phase 2 of the training. In the next session, we will start with machine learning.
हेलो
Yes, go ahead, your questions.
अनुभव सर क्या ऐड करना है इसके अंदर
You just have to
एक्सेल में जाके
go to Excel and search Microsoft Store.
ओके
नहीं, Microsoft Store सर्च करना आपको पहले. Yes, and browse add-in.
माइक्रोसॉफ्ट स्टोर ओके
Yes, browse add-in करना है और यहाँ पे सारे add-in का लिस्ट आ जाएगा. ये बहुत सारे add-ins है. There are millions of them. Yes, millions of add-ins are there. One of the add-in is SAP Analytics Cloud. Search, you see, here, add कर लीजिएगा. बस इतना ही करना आज. That's all you
ओके
have to do.
थैंक यू
Okay. All right, guys. See you on Monday. See you see you next weekend. Goodbye, guys. Okay, there's a question from Sandeep. Wait on. In data action, can I delete the FTE count as per the user entry using the parameter? For example, from an existing FTE count per month, I want to delete user entered count in parameter from expected month and onward a year. No, we cannot do that. When you are doing a loop, it will not allow you to delete data. It will only allow to modify the data. Okay, you cannot delete. You cannot delete. But I'm not sure what exactly your use case is. I would request Sandeep, first please try yourself in the system and then bring in the next class your question and share your screen. And then we will see what exactly you're trying to do and see if we can do that. Yeah. But I would want you to just try first in the system what you want to achieve. Put some code at least in the system and then come to me. I will be able to understand your requirement properly. Yes. Okay, guys.